Global markets are rallying on earnings optimism and tech momentum, with Wall Street hitting record highs even as trade tensions resurface. Investors are riding a wave of AI-fueled growth, while policy shifts in crypto and global trade continue to reshape risk appetite. My name is Eniola Lunge, and here's your zoom outs for July 21, where I'll help you see the bigger picture. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq closed at all-time highs as markets gear up for earnings from the Magnificent Seven. Optimism is riding high thanks to growing demand for AI, with Nvidia, Microsoft, and Amazon leading the rally, according to reports from CNBC. Meanwhile, Q2 earnings season is off to a strong start. 73% of reporting companies have beaten profit expectations, with standouts like Verizon and Crown Holdings raising guidance. Tech and AI-focused ETFs are surging, and analysts have upgraded GDP and S&P 500 growth projections for the second half of the year. So what's your zoom-out takeaway? Even as political noise and trade headwinds rise, markets are doubling down on innovation and earnings. Underlying data like strong earnings, economic resilience, and tech innovation are all signaling strength, and that alignment helps explain why markets are rallying, even when headlines might suggest uncertainty. Crypto-linked stocks jumped after President Trump signed the first U.S. law regulating stablecoins, seen as a major milestone for digital asset legitimacy, according to reporting from Reuters. Ether ETFs saw record inflows while smaller coins surged amid growing risk appetite. Regulatory clarity is boosting institutional interest in crypto, but with over $2.17 billion in crypto stolen so far in 2025, rising security concerns could cap gains. So what's your zoom out takeaway? Crypto is inching closer to mainstream adoption, but it still hinges on trust and technology catching up with regulation. So the real key is protecting your own wallet. Use a hardware wallet. Never store your seed phrase online, and always double check where you click. Regulation might be evolving, but personal security still matters most. The Trump administration is preparing to bring a new round of tariffs targeting several countries into effect by August 1, according to the Financial Times. U.S. allies are bracing for impact, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says there's still room for negotiation. Canada is already limiting steel imports to protect its economy, and the European Union is warning of retaliation if no deal is reached. Agriculture and manufacturing industries, where cross-border trade is critical, are especially vulnerable. Companies that rely on global suppliers could also face higher costs and delays. So what's your zoom out takeaway? Even as earnings boost investor confidence, global trade policy could be the curveball. With tariffs on the table, businesses face renewed uncertainty, and that could spill over into prices, profits, and everyday products. Africa is making bold moves to boost its economic future, starting with energy and trade. Zambia just signed a $1.1 billion deal to build a crude oil refinery and energy complex in Ndola, with a capacity to process 60,000 barrels per day, according to reporting from Bloomberg Africa, reducing reliance on fuel imports and potentially positioning Zambia as a regional fuel exporter. It's part of the country's broader growth plan, which includes a 6.4% economic growth forecast for 2026, fueled by mining, agriculture, and now energy. Meanwhile, Afreximbank announced a $1 billion new investment deals around infrastructure, clean energy, and manufacturing. So what's your zoom out takeaway? Africa isn't just attracting aid, it's attracting capital. From full production to trade integration, the continent is laying the groundwork for long-term economic independence. These investments signal growing confidence in Africa's long-term potential. They also reflect a shift towards self-sufficiency, especially in energy and industrial capacity, making the region less vulnerable to global supply shocks. So the bottom line is this: while U.S. markets cheer earnings and crypto inches closer to regulatory legitimacy, trade fault lines are shifting, and Africa is quietly positioning itself for a leap in infrastructure and influence. When the world zooms in on the noise, I zoom out so you can see the bigger picture. Which of the stories have you been following? Drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Good night.